Hey guys, welcome to the garden. Tonight we are making some compost tea, and this is something that I have never done before, but I know it would be good for my garden since it is the first year and I'm trying to build that soil. I know it would be good to get some really nice, good, healthy microbes back into the soil. So we are going to make some compost tea. So basically compost tea is taking some compost, which I have here, and you put it in a bag. This is a reusable produce bag. I sacrificed one of my reusable produce bags for this. This is essentially the tea bag that we are going to make tea with in this bucket of water. So the water I have here, I got it out of my hose, but I put it in this bucket yesterday so it could dechlorinate. Because I am on city water, and so the city water does have some like chlorine and fluoride and those types of things in it, but those things will kill the microbes in our compost, so we don't want that to happen. So the easiest way to get rid of those things is to put your water in a bucket or in whatever you're going to put it in and let it sit for at least 24 hours. This has been sitting for a little over 24 hours at this point, so it is good to go. The other thing you're gonna need is one of these. This is an aquarium air pump and then some hose to go with it. We're gonna need a rock of some sort, and I'm gonna use a zip tie. I will explain those momentarily. So the air pump is to help keep the water aerated as the tea is steeping. So that will help the microbes stay active and alive while the tea is steeping. This air pump I got is just a Tetra air pump. This is for up to 10-gallon aquariums. I have a 5-gallon bucket here, so I'm gonna be fine. I just bought this at Petco, and they actually had these on sale on their website for $5.83. So this was a really good deal. And then I just grabbed a pack of this tubing. This is 8-foot plastic tubing that'll fit on this. If you have some of this, you don't need to buy it, but I did grab this while I was at Petco also. You can get it cheaper at like Lowe's, but I didn't want to make 2 stops. So got this, got this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this baby out and we're gonna get this all hooked up. We're gonna put our tea bag in the bucket of water. We're going to attach this hose to this rock with this zip tie to keep it from coming out of the bucket. And we're basically just gonna let this tea steep overnight, and then tomorrow morning we will check it, and if we think it's steeped enough, we'll say it's done. If not, we can let it keep going. We can let it keep going for really honestly as long as we want. So we'll see how long I let it go. I'm going to get this stuff put together, and then we will get this compost tea started. So basically when you open up this air pump, if you get the same one that I got, this part is the part that goes in the middle. This is the part that has the motor in it that creates the air. Your hose is gonna attach on the end here. So I'm just gonna take this out of its cardboard, and I'm just gonna stick it here on the end, and you'll have to kind of work it and twist it on there, but you want it nice and tight. And then we're going to take the other end of this, which I bought 8 feet of tube, which I realize now that I didn't need 8 feet, but that's the shortest length they had. So I'm going to take the other end here and I'm going to attach it to this rock with a zip tie, and I'm doing this so that way the tube doesn't fly out of the bucket. Just make sure you're not tightening it too tight where the tube is squished. So now I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna dump it down in the water, like that. So now the tube with the bubbler is at the bottom of the bucket. So then the next thing I'm gonna do is just take my compost bag and I'm just gonna shove it down in here. And it should sink to the bottom, like so. Now the only thing I need to do now is plug this in. So I have my air pump plugged in, and this is kind of what you want to see. You want to just see bubbles happening. I had some stuff sitting at the bottom of my bucket, which is why there's stuff floating. But you can already see how nice and dark it is. That's from the compost. So basically we're just gonna leave this bubbling overnight, bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, and then we will have some compost tea in the morning. So I'm gonna leave this, and in the morning we will have compost tea. Now, I'm only doing like a 5-gallon bucket's worth for now. I do have a large garden, so I will be doing this multiple times through the season. I actually may go ahead and just immediately make another batch. After this, like I may use this, then fill the bucket back up, let it sit, and then after it's sat, make another batch. So this is a really good way to quickly make compost tea. I don't really know of any other way to do it. Like, I know there's other ways, but like, this is how I saw this on TikTok, and I thought I can do that. So I am. So we'll see you in the morning for some finished compost tea. Good morning. It is the next day. Our compost tea is finished and ready to put on the garden. Now, the sun is up and it is on the garden right now, so I'm not going to put this on now. I'm gonna wait and do it this evening. So basically, all I'm gonna do is just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it, let it keep going, let the bubbler keep running. It looks really good though. So you can see it's nice and brown. The compost bag is kind of gross looking, but yeah, this is what you want. Let me see if I can get it more in the shade so you can see. Yeah, so it's nice and dark looking. The bubbler is running and doing its job. And yeah, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in a watering can and water my plants like that. And that is a 5-gallon bucket. It's not all the way full, but I have like a 2-gallon watering can. So I'll be able to get like a little over 2 full watering cans out of that bucket. So my plan is to water the garden with it. I won't be able to do everything, but I'm gonna start, I think, with like the cherry tomatoes and work my way around. And then I'm gonna refill my bucket with more water, and then tomorrow, after it sits, I will start another batch. And I'm just gonna work my way around the garden and work on getting everything watered with the compost tea. So compost tea is a really great way to get some nice healthy microbes into your soil. Your compost, I used my own compost that I made, and arguably my compost is not perfect because I'm not a very good composter, but it still has those good microbes in it, and those microbes are breaking down that compost into soil. So one of the Luna is having an asthma attack in there. I have the door open today. It is 64 degrees out right now, and it is absolutely beautiful outside. But anyway, compost teas are a great way to get those microbes in your soil without having to wait on the top dressed compost to kind of go down. And it also, I mean, you can get more out of your compost if you make tea with it. The stuff that's in that bag, I will take, and I'm probably going to top dress one of my raised beds because they could use some top dressing. And the tea, I will water my other plants. So I'm kind of getting double usage out of my compost, and I did not put very much in that bag. Probably like 3 like large hand trowels full, so not a lot, probably a couple pounds of compost. And my compost was kind of wet when I put it in the bag because I have my bin sitting on a tarp and there's a puddle underneath it, so it was kind of wet, but it's fine. So that is how I'm doing my compost tea. I'm trying really hard this year to work on the soil and add those nice good microbes back and build the soil up with good nutrients and stuff like that. So that being said, yesterday I ordered some worms. We are going to be making a worm farm, so stay tuned for that. When they get here, we'll be making our worm farm. I ordered them from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm, so I'm excited. I've never ordered worms through the mail before, but there's a first time for everything. So we are going to be working on the soil this summer and getting it back, or getting it to where I want it to be nice and nutrient dense and rich for growing food. So I hope that you go make your own compost tea. You can also use store-bought compost. It doesn't have to be homemade compost. You can use whatever type of compost you have available to you. So it's a great way to stretch your dollar and get some more nutrients back into your soil. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.